I got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. Got no filter, I got no filter. 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 No filter, I got no filter.
Well. Welcome to Paramotor Hangout. I'm one of your hosts. We still never figured this out. Anyways, I'm Shane, Never Trust Skinny Chef Shane, and tonight we have some information that we'd like to share with you guys. But first, I always get so pumped up for that. I don't know if you guys can see me in the thing. I know the microphone's muted, but it gets me in the mood. Just so you know. Anyways. We have Paralyzed PPG, Mr. Mark McElroy. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here on time this week for a change.
I don't know what you called last week, but that was nowhere close to on time. Hey, Will, Mr. Will Fly, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I guess I didn't get the memo on the Will Fly shirts, but I am sporting the Aurora PPG, so that gets me out of jail.
Yeah, right. I want you all to know that I sent Mark a text at 7:40 that said, "Hey, Mark, FYI, tonight is Tuesday. This is the night that you get online and help do Paramotor Hangout at 8 p.m. tonight." Just in case he forgot. With that being said,
that's funny.
What are the two diseases that you don't want to have together?
I don't know.
The runs and Alzheimer's, because you're running but you don't know where you're going.
Oh, Shane. I got my drink, but there is no alcohol in it, so
you can lie to us.
Okay, there's alcohol in it.
Hell yeah, Will's getting hammered. So what is going on? This chat started early tonight, by the way. Walter started it at 20 hours ago. But he has already watched the show, so there's that, because he's in Australia. We got Linda.
Yeah, he's already seen it.
Yeah, he's already seen the show because he already knows what we're going to talk about. Hey, Walter, if you could message me and let me know how this show goes tonight. We got Tony, Mark. Let's see. We got Ben from Paramotor NC, Lift Paramotors, and Mr. Dana, Daddy Dutch Barbecue. Oh, so let me tell you what happened last weekend. So Saturday night, I get a notification that because I hit the bell on Daddy Dutch Barbecue, and it notified me that he was going live. So I sat on his live in the chat for quite some time, and then I asked about the people that he had on, what their sites were or whatever, and he ends up sending me the link, and I think we talked until 2:30 in the morning online from 9 o'clock in the morning. We had it was a hangout, and I absolutely had a blast. And Daddy Dutch, anytime you need somebody come on, maybe not till that late in the night. Normally I'd be asleep by 11, but it was just so much fun, and I had a blast. And I went to bed, woke up the next morning with a hangover. Apparently, I was drinking the entire time. So, there's that. But anyways, if you guys ever want to catch Daddy Dutch on Saturday nights doing a live, it's all over. It's cooking. It's everything. It's a hangout. It truly is just awesome. And he just said he was hammered as well. Maybe that's why we went till 3 o'clock in the morning. But they don't normally go that long. But sometimes, things happen. Anyways, so we got Bill H in there. Did I miss anybody? Because I was chitty chatty. Some guy named Will.
Let's see. You didn't mention
Angela.
David Wolf, did you?
No, is he in there?
Yeah. Do you know a guy named David Wolf?
Yeah. Did I miss him? Seriously?
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
just showed up.
I was
hear
like,
he's
wait
a
a
pretty
minute.
cool guy.
I had heard he's one of two guys to ever catch a fish in his wing, just so you know. Just saying. I
Yeah.
don't know who the
Yeah,
two
I heard
guys
he was
are.
one of two guys that landed in the water and walked on the water.
Wait,
Dave Wolf.
hey, actually, I sent Dave Wolf a message on Messenger right after I posted my TikTok, and I never got a reply back. That was kind of rude. Just so you know.
He only replies to his friends, man.
Oh, I should have known that. Fly, baby, fly. Who made a?
It's a fly, baby,
Who
fly.
made? Yeah, Mark posted a video of Sunnyland, which, by the way, was a hell of a lot of video for the short amount of time we flew.
For the garbage flight it was.
Which, not to say anything about Sunnyland, but the weather was horrible, and it was just the flying at the flying was not good. The facilities and everything else was great, but it just wasn't good for flying. But we made the best of it. Hey, Will, is there any
Yeah.
chance that you could do the whole face plant thing? Boom, 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 boom. No filter, no filter. As my face slams into the ground, asking for a friend.
Yeah, we could probably make that work.
Oh my god!
Actually, that'd be pretty funny. Hey,
I know.
you might want to mention Angela Preslick.
What about her?
She
I
says
did.
you didn't mention her, so you.
I did too. I said Tony.
Yeah,
That's both of them.
Well, that's true. It's true.
I mean, without Tony, without Tony Angelo, who would even know her? You know what I mean? Like, really? Let's just. I'm just kidding. What
I thought it was the other way around.
Oh, no, that's for me. That's for me and Krista.
So hey,
go ahead.
can I say what we're going to cover at 7:30, just so people know?
Yes.
Yeah. So at 7:30, the topic tonight's going to be engine outs.
Or
I'm not
8:30,
gonna say
whichever
anymore.
comes
That's-
first.
Oh dang, man! 7:30 Central. I live on the East Coast. I don't know why I can't get that straight. Yeah, 8:30 Eastern.
Why? All right. So, Will, where are you not at home?
I'm in the van.
I know, but is your van parked outside your house?
Down by the river.
Yeah. This is where I've been living though, right here.
So you have a house, but you're living in
Trying
the
it
van.
out. Yeah, man. Wouldn't
That
you?
doesn't count. That doesn't count. No, I live in my camper
It does.
next to my house when we have a hurricane and the power goes out. Then I go into my camper. So
Let me tell you something. This
Yeah.
little thing, I mean, it's this freaking big, but you can spend like your whole life just customizing things and running wires and moving this and trying to, yeah, it's just ridiculous the amount. I can get in this van and it's like I'm in a freaking time warp.
yeah. So I have to redo the ceiling in my cargo trailer, and I'm gonna do the tongue and groove, but the real tight tongue and groove lines on the ceiling, and I want to run fiber optics down, or not down each groove, but maybe every other, every third one for ambiance lighting. That has been just to get to the point of wanting to do that has been hours upon hours of planning and trying to figure out how it's going to work. It's taken me a while, almost as long as my bathroom, just in case Tony was going to throw that in there. I want to go ahead
Uh.
and kick that in there.
Hey, I can't show any of the comments, but just trying to keep track of it here.
What happened to John Wayne? I seen a sorry about John Wayne. What did I miss?
Yeah, what did I miss?
I think it just said that the weather, I think, is garbage over there right now. I think they're getting dumped on.
It's Brian, Smart Car Brian. Let's go ahead and put him on the show.
Yeah,
What's
don't
up,
tell him.
man?
Yo, man. Hey,
Yes, sir.
when is Hardy Lakes?
I believe I texted your wife, or she asked me earlier, and
I know. But the dates she gave me don't make sense to me, so I'm just confirming.
it should be the 19th through the 20.
Yeah, that's a Monday. Are you aware of that?
No, that's not correct.
Yeah.
So
It's
the
18
so
through
January
21.
So January 23rd. I'm sorry, January 2023, the 20th through the 22nd.
1 second.
You can't look at 2022.
22nd.
The 20th through the 22nd. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Maybe I did fuck that up. Oh, man. Let me look at my email and see what I sent them. I got it approved. Okay, what date is it?
Okay, one more time, just for the special people.
For the window liquors.
Well, actually, it's January 19th through the 22nd. I believe it's Thursday.
Exactly what I requested. January 19th through the 22nd.
Correct. So,
For some reason, I thought that was Monday through Wednesday.
so let me ask Will and Mark, because we're live on the air and you're on speakerphone.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're on national TV, bro.
Yeah, you're on national TV. There are 4,000.
Tuesday, hang out. I told Rachel, I'm like, he's on the air. He's not going to answer.
Oh, well. Good thing you don't have Krista's phone number.
My bad.
Hey,
Anyway, I got it all. I got it approved.
all right, sounds good. All right.
See you later.
Oh, what's that?
I said I'm not tuned in.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not counting on that. Okay.
Don't hold your breath. All right, thanks.
All right, bye. Hey, can somebody get that Sex Finder Biz? Get rid of that.
Yeah, I got it.
Where's the moderators that are around here? Oh, Dave Wolf, here we go. Dave Wolf, you're live on the air. How can I help you,
Hey,
sir?
Shane, how you doing, buddy?
Good, I'm not doing nothing at all.
Cool, man. I just called to catch up, see what's going on, you know?
Yeah. So, how's things?
Oh, wait a minute. This is so crazy. I'm like watching you on YouTube. Is this a live video or is this pre-recorded?
Well, actually, Walter has already seen this in Australia yesterday, so this has already happened.
Oh, cool. All right, man. Well, hey, it's good catching up with you. I'll talk to you later, all right?
All right, man, bye. You can't ruin a show that's already ridiculous.
Freaking crazy.
Add to it.
So I did want to say something that this is Paramotor Hangout, right? So I mean, we do every week talk some Paramotor, and even half of the show, whatever. I mean, we end up talking Paramotor, but I mean, it's just kind of a like what Shane says. We just kind of hang out like we're at a campfire at a fly-in, and just kind of chill. And somebody wants to say something or change the subject or come up with their own topic, whatever it is, man, that's just kind of, it's just real natural.
Yep.
Whatever. So we don't do much planning for this. I can say, I mean, I did a little planning tonight, but you'll see the presentation. It wasn't a whole lot. It's just kind of laid back, you know, just a couple guys having fun.
Truth be told, Mark and Will usually show up 6 to 7 minutes before the show starts. We discuss what we're talking about, and then we just hit play. So, or go live. So that's honestly.
Yeah, I usually.
It's not.
I usually get on the show like just in time to hear Shane say, "Oh shoot, it's 8 o'clock."
This is no scheduled or.
What's up,
planned.
Dweez?
Yeah, what's up, Deweese? This is no planned we're going to be professional about this. This is three guys that, as Walter likes to call us, the three amigos, and we just come and hang out. I mean, I get to see my two friends that I can't actually see in person, and I'm very thankful that both of them show up every week. And I mean, okay, Will shows up every week, and not gonna live that. Not Joni, I feel like there's something I should be doing right now.
True that.
Oh.
So Dave was asking if I'm going to do a Dave Purden video this year. Yes and no. I'm going to kind of combine it with one of the tips. So I've been distracted this year, and so yes to your question. When, I don't know. I was actually looking at some of the footage today, and that reminds me. It just reminded me how much I love flying that area. It's just, it is the best freaking area to fly, bar none, that I've been to, and I haven't been to a lot of places, but that's that and Bad Apples. Those are on my absolute must-make fly-ins.
Oh well, I know one particular pilot who will not be there this year coming up. Apparently, he's going to go take his wife to Alaska on a cruise. Lame.
This is all true. True stories.
Wait, is it you, Shane, or is it Mark?
I can't. Dude, I was so poor growing up. If I wasn't a Boyd, I had nothing to play with.
Oh, so it was Mark?
Yes.
It's Mark that's doing this? Oh,
yeah.
Man, you had me worried there for a minute.
Well, you missed a joke.
No, I got it.
I liked it.
What's up, Austin? Austin's
man.
girlfriend says that I'm the cheapest guy in the world. I'm not buying it. You have to think about it.
No, Will, I would say 100% between Mark and Will and a few others. When it comes to paying their part or contributing to the cause, them two are always on point, 100%. You may have to find your money in a freezer or stuffed in some dirty underwear or something. I don't know. But you'll find it eventually.
Hello, Mr. David Wolf.
Oh, what? Uh-oh. I mean, so the Lord Jesus Christ said to me, I heard Dave's wife's listening. So I will tell you the funniest story between Cupcake Krista and Will. We were leaving Bad Apples, and Will left some money somewhere, and Krista found it. So Krista shoved it back into his luggage or whatever. And she was so proud of herself because when Will loaded that all up, he never looked or whatever, found it. And we were at the dump station. Will, of course, had left. And I don't remember if Will called or Krista called, whoever. One of them called each other. And Will's like, did you find the money in the freezer? Krista's like, what money in the freezer? And Will's like, I left money in the freezer. And Krista's like, what? And then she pulls the phone away and she goes, he got us, Shane. And she's like, well, did you see the money or find the money in your suitcase or your backpack or whatever it was? Oh, she was so mad because she thought she got one up on Will. And well, and then I did the same thing to Mark. I put money that he gave me back into his GoPro, his 72 GoPro package container thing. And then he got back and he's like, you dumbass, that was for to pay for this and that for that. And then one time he did this to me. He was like, hey, let me give you some gas or whatever. It warms my heart. It gives me pleasure. You're gonna deprive me of pleasure of my heart, blah, blah, blah. So I did the same thing to him, and he told me to shut up and that he'll see me next time.
Tony, man, I'm not flexing, dude. This is just my natural stance. Yeah. So.
Shane's Planet Shane said, if you leave money in the freezer, obviously the DEA is looking for you. They could have found me. We were at the dump station.
I just asked in the chat who all flew today. Fly Baby Fly, he flew Sunday, and someone else. I don't know. I know
I have
I didn't fly this week. It was really close. I was going to fly today. It was the weather. It was like in this low 60s. It would have been perfect, as perfect can be. But no, I didn't do it.
So I haven't flown since Sunnyland. I have yet again torn the sheathing off of my brake line because of the porcelain pulley, or not pulley, eyelet.
I
So I have talked to Andrew Fuller, who is going to replace the eyelets with pulleys and replace both brake lines. And as soon as he gets the parts and pieces in, I will go and drop it off, go hang out, I guess, at Aviators for the day, and then go back and pick it up because he said it'd take a day. And he's only 2 hours from me. So as soon as I get that done, it's the line itself, other than the sheathing, is perfectly fine. There's no fray or nothing in that line. There's no reason why I can't fly. It's just a comfort thing for me. I'm not willing to. What do you do if your brake line just breaks in flight? You know, I don't want to have to figure all that out. I just don't want to do it.
just go to
You
your
don't know what
D's.
case? Yeah. So I mean, that's a good question. That's something good to talk about. I mean, I immediately stopped using the other brake line, I guess.
Yeah,
and
right.
Equally on the D's, and I've never had that happen. I've had lines break in flight, but not a brake line or an A.
I think you're supposed to pull your D lines as a flare, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know, dude. It just that freaks me out. I'm fine, dude. If an A line goes and I'm fluttering down, I can throw a reserve and call it a day. But I mean,
Fluttering.
yeah, you're gonna be fluttering. Your wing's gonna go
Fluttering
like
down.
this. Yeah, you're gonna be fluttering. But I just that whole brake line thing. That is everything. So okay, let's just say you have a slow wing and you're going 20. Let's just call it 28 miles an hour. You're gonna land on your knees on that. You're coming in, dude. It's gonna be a tuck and roll kind of situation, and I don't want to be part of that.
I've seen you try and tuck and roll, and you're not good at it.
That was a free dive into the ground.
Yeah, I think you just pull your D's and call it good on landing.
I'm gonna be pulling my D, all right.
Well, okay, so that goes along with what we were talking about last week. Wasn't it last week? We were talking about the 5 hazardous attitudes. Was that last week or the week before? Anyways, that would be resignation. There's certainly something you could do about it. So you don't just give up and hope for the best. I mean, it's not the end of the world. But I still don't want to experience it.
Yeah, me neither. So my video of flying in North Carolina at Ben's Paramotor NC's house, I actually miscalculated or got sync or something happened on landing. I've gone over it and kind of figured it out that I hit sync and I didn't hit the bottom of the when I let off the gas. I kind of didn't swing down until the ground was already there. And I actually, at the end of that video, I did land on my knee. I put one knee out, one leg out, and ended up like running on all fours, if you will, and laughing the entire time because I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. And I stood up and no one saw it. I was like, no one? There's not anyone to make fun of me because that had to have been funny looking. And of course, I flew to the side of Mark's video or his cameras because I don't want to be part of that nonsense. But it was,
I sure wish I would have had my cameras going at Sunnyland.
Oh, I know, right? Forward, back, side, aerial.
Yeah.
Like
The only camera I even took over there was just my helmet camera because I knew it was going to be a junk flight.
So I knew my GoPro wasn't charged. If I would have had my GoPro on, you would have just seen just me into the ground, which should have been hilarious. I find so I just a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "I wanted to laugh, but I didn't want to know if you were okay or not."
Sure,
Dude,
you okay?
I was perfectly fine. And my wife, after I showed her the first time, she was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I didn't break anything. My main concern is breaking equipment. The only thing I broke was my chest harness, and that's no big deal. So she started watching it again, and she just laughed harder and harder every time she watched it. And then she told me I got to stop showing her because she's in tears at this point, and so it's okay to laugh at it. It's a great video. I put it out there as a joke, um, and I'm not mad about it. Like seriously, Mark's giving me crap about it. My wife's giving me crap about it. A lot of people have given me crap about it, and it's all in good fun. So if I got hurt, if I seriously got hurt and people were laughing about it, I'd probably be a little upset about it. But I didn't get hurt, and it is funny. It is 100% funny.
It is. It's hard. I mean, you know what? We're human beings. It's comic relief.
Oh
But
yeah.
when you see someone turtle or face plant, I mean, yeah, of
Oh.
course, you don't want to see blood, right? You don't want to see
Ah.
your fellow pilot get hurt. But I mean, I don't know. Jane, let's see. James was asking about what I'm using for the electric. I got 300-watt solar panels and 100 amp hour battery borne battery, 2,000-watt inverter, and an automatic transfer switch.
An automatic what? You broke up.
Transfer switch.
Okay.
Like if it plugs into shore power, it stops using the inverter. So,
What do we got here for a question? Question for the panel for discussion. YouTube Paramotor videos, are they a thing of the past? How much new content? No one watching, even the scam artist has 1,500 views per video. All right, so okay, and I'm speaking solely for myself, not the other two guys on the panel or anybody in the chat. I posted my videos in this show. If you want to watch it, great. If you don't, don't. I'm not doing this to make money. I'm not doing this for any other reason than to just share my life. And if you're interested, great. If not, there's plenty of other stuff out there to watch. And then I do this Tuesday night show, which I have tried to quit several times. And I have one particular guy on the panel that will not let me quit. You got to do it. People are expecting it. I'm like, geez. My wife's always disappointed in what she expects, but here she is still with me. But I enjoy doing the show to hang out with my two friends, and I don't get to see them. That we live far apart. And for me, this is kind of us hanging out like we do at a fly-in. There was no flying at Sunnyland, and Mark had a inkling to go home because there really was no flying, and he ended up staying. Why? Because we're hanging out, and we just talked, and everybody just hung out. So for me, this is why I do the YouTube videos. This is why I do this show. Will, Will could be monetized in a heartbeat, and he's not because he doesn't want. I'm not going to speak for you, Will. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, for one thing, you'd have to start by getting up in the morning.
Right. No, I don't want to monetize my videos because that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because, number one, I kind of enjoy the process of editing videos and, seeing something that was just raw footage turned into something that someone may or may not want to watch. But it's getting harder and harder to work in the video paramotor world because I think so many people are getting into it now. And it's kind of a standing joke that if you're a paramotor pilot, you have to have a YouTube channel. But man, if it's not like someone doing a serious face plant or landing in the water, Mark, your last video, I think you did of well, not your last one, but the one you did of Shane. I looked at it yesterday. I think it had like 4,000, 5,000 views, somewhere thereabouts.
Yeah,
so people love to see that kind of stuff.
It has 4,400 views, which is, a lot for my channel. My videos normally get about 200 views total. And, of course, even when I make some of mine, it's like, it's the same old garbage, Um, I enjoy making them. It's fun to me. I mean, it's a decent bit of work to make it, but I still enjoy it, and you know, my dad likes to see them. So I still do it and enjoy it, but it's not real often that it's something, you know, kind of new and exciting.
I I have a darker side to all of this. So if something happens to me, um, so we have a ton of videos, photos, and stuff of Kaylee and Gage, and not so much of Krista because she hates being on camera or on in pictures. But it's kind of once I'm gone, then it's something that people can go back and watch. And so for me, it's a darker side, if you will. I don't mean to be dark on here, but that's truly the reason behind why I like doing this.
Yeah, you got to do it for you. I mean, if you're doing it for any other reason, then man, it's just a freaking job. I mean,
It is like we don't plan anything, but yet here we like every week. I feel like it's so exhausting, and it's ridiculous. But I do it because I do love hanging out with you guys. I love the chat, even though I haven't been paying much attention to it tonight. Just so you know, but
hey, we got
DP's there.
Anthony Go in the house and DP. Yeah, what's up, guys?
we got
I already said James, right?
yes.
There was something
So-
that someone said in the chat. I don't know if you got it or not. It was Lip Paramotor. He was saying that some of the new wings don't come with D's anymore. They're using C's, split closer to the wing.
So would that work just as good as grabbing the D's, or are you gonna collapse
Yeah,
the
if
wing?
that's
And I'd be
if that's
grabbing
the back
whatever was
set
the
of
furthest
lines.
back. So,
Yeah. I don't want to be part of that. Like I said, there's no problem with my line other than the sheathing. But when I seen that, Martin, that's exactly why I landed at Sunnyland. I wasn't done flying, but I saw that. I was like, yeah, I'm not good with this. I was like, I'm out. And that has been the same way every time that's happened. This is the fourth set of lines. What happens is with that porcelain eyelet, over time of pulling that line through there, it creates a V in it, and it actually starts tearing into the line. So I, you know, that's kind of a fear of mine. It's not a freaking collapse. It's not a full frontal. It's not anything other than what do you do if your brake line snaps? Like, I want no part of that. I'm coming down as soon as possible, and that's exactly what I did with that day at Sunnyland.
I have flown with. I've lost a B. I've broken a B line in flight and a D, but that's it. And both times, man, I didn't even know it until I landed. You know, I mean, I noticed something was wrong, but as far as the feel of things, I didn't catch it.
Yeah. I just want to say to Miss Linda Anderson, just because you had one order that came back damaged doesn't mean that you cannot do Black Friday deals anymore. Come on, lady. It's a post from Facebook today or yesterday. I laughed so hard. One and done. That's Krista right there. If Krista tries something and it doesn't happen right, she's like, I'm never doing that again. I'm like, geez, give it a chance. Uh-oh, what do we got? Yeah, I agree with Lift Paramotors. Will, can you put that up on the thingamabobber there? Greg just showed up.
I don't have a. I
Oh, never mind. I'll do it all. I'll do it all.
Not right.
I got it.
Gotta fix the permissions, dude.
What do you mean?
Something.
I never changed anything.
Oh no, something weird's going on.
Yeah, when it comes to making videos,
I didn't catch it. I can't read that fast.
Oh my god, Hooked on Phonics didn't work for me. Oh, give Will a property renter's agreement, and he knows all about it. But you put something on the screen, he can't read it that fast.
That's exactly right. I need pictures, man. Hey, it's 8:35.
Yes, let's do it. I'm gonna step away just a second.
You want me to do it while you're stepping away?
Yeah,
Or do
I'm literally.
you want me to wait or what?
No, I'm just gonna go get a beer right over there. There.
All right.
Where?
No problem.
Holy crap! This is hard. Over there. All right, go ahead. I'll be right back.
All right. It's my first attempt at doing this, so let's see. Share screen. Review over here. So, also, I wanted to start out by asking the chat a specific question. Hold on, let me just share it here. I think. There we go. Window and share. Okay, Mark, can you see that?
No.
Well, try it again. Working on it, Shane.
I gotta get better friends. Uh-oh.
Oh. Yeah, you got to make it shareable
Oh.
there, or you got to make it.
I didn't change anything,
There
bro.
you go.
I'm going into
Man,
settings
you're messing
now.
with me.
I'm going into settings
Okay,
now.
so all right, so we're talking about engine failure, and the question for the chat, and this is really important, not only for people basically who are coming into the sport, and they need to be prepared. And so the question is, during your first year of flying, did you experience an engine out?
Yes.
If you didn't, just type no. If you did, type yes with the number of engine outs that you had. And I can tell you that I've had 4 engine outs. 3 of them were in the first year. So it's a matter of when, not if. And if anybody who's flown a paramotor, or any motor for that matter, even in general aviation, I've had an engine failure, power unit failure. It's always in the back of your mind that what's going to happen when the engine quits, and what are you going to do? So my instructor, when I was learning to fly, would ask, when's the best time to plan for an emergency? Mark or Shane, any ideas on that? The best time to plan for an emergency?
Beforehand.
Before you
awesome.
take
That's
off.
right. Yeah, before it happens. I mean, you don't want to be coming up with a game plan during an emergency. I mean, you want to use all your mental faculties to address the issue and have all the basics, kind of already taken care of. And by basics, I mean wind direction, for example. You don't realize how important wind direction is until you're coming into land, right? Well, if you're always kind of keeping track of the wind direction, for example, if you take off, you pretty much usually will be heading upwind. Just kind of keep it simple, with smoke or just smokestacks or whatever, just kind of always have it in the back of your mind. If you concentrate, or if you intentionally, I don't know exactly how to put it, but if you, like, the next 10 flights, go up and make it a point to say, okay, the wind's coming from this direction, the wind's coming from that direction. After a while, it'll just kind of happen naturally. You won't even have to think about it. So the good news is there's only 2 times that an engine failure can happen. And that is in the air and on the ground. On the ground's not such a big deal, right? But in-flight failure you've got two main concerns: your outs and your alts. The alts are your altitude. So your outs, what's going to happen, where are you going to land, and what altitude are you at when your motor quits. If you're at 50 feet, it's completely different than if you're at 500 feet. So the way what I try to do, and especially when I'm flying an unfamiliar field, is I make sure I know where the outs are straight ahead. If I don't have any decent outs straight ahead, then I probably won't launch from that direction. There was up in Ohio, there's a field, and the direction that I was launching straight ahead was a fence and a pond. So that would have been my out. Neither would have been a good out. So if you find an unfamiliar field, either investigate it thoroughly yourself, or check with the host and ask him or her. So if it's less than 50 feet, you've got limited options. You can land straight ahead or maybe at a slight angle. But you got to keep in mind that anytime you turn, you're taking that vertical component of lift. All that lift is acting that way, and you're turning it that way, which means you're losing altitude. So that's why I say you've got limited options. If you don't want to be so close to the ground and try to turn, you're just going to turn into the ground because of the altitude you lost. So keep in mind that turning chews up altitude. If you're at 500 feet, that's not a big deal. If you're at 20 feet, that's a huge deal. All right. Especially for launch, you want to know where you will land when the engine quits. So that kind of is redundant. If you have good altitude, you choose your field and set up for a regular landing. This is where keeping track of the wind direction as you're flying will really serve you well. Each one of my engine failures. Let me say this: the first time that I had an engine out, it was a little hairy, kind of like a little bit spooky, but it wasn't a huge deal. I mean, you're going to glide. So same thing with a paramotor, man. So just set up for a regular landing, and like you normally do, whether you're doing a rectangular pattern or whatever. But you want to, when at all possible, land into the wind. And if you can, something that'll serve you really well is to, every time you land, try to pick a spot to land and at that spot, because it really counts when you don't have a motor and you don't have a second chance. So there you go. That's it. And has anyone responded in the chat?
There's been a couple responses. I have a new Grizzly Adams wife beater guest.
What's up, Dave?
Hey, everybody.
Dave Wolf, how's it going, sir?
Good.
Long
Thanks
time
for
no
having
see.
me.
Hey, Dave, have you had a motor out during flight?
I've had a couple motor outs. So I think the first one I had was I was on when I first started, and it was a fresh breeze, and I was about a little over a mile away from my LZ, and my motor out happened because some oil went into the transducer, I think it was. But those fresh breezes, nothing ever goes wrong with them. They're perfect.
I think that's called the flux capacitor.
Something like that, yeah. But I was about 3,000 feet altitude. I was really scared because it was my first one, but I was able to make it back to the LZ with room to spare. And it was actually on video, so that was a good one. And then the most recent one happened a couple months ago, where I was doing wingovers, and sometimes with the motors you pull some G's and it'll stall out the motor, and that happens, which is why I always give a little bit of throttle when I'm doing wingovers now. And it stalled out, and I landed in someone's backyard, and fortunately I was able to still take off and just barely went through a big tree and a barn to get up and out of that area.
I don't
Minor
remember.
details.
Yeah, I don't remember what I put down for motors outs, but now that I think of it, I've had holy crap, what did I put down for motor outs? Yes, 2. That's a bold-faced lie. First of all, my very first. Now, what do we consider engine outs? Because my very first motor out while I was flying, I hit the kill switch, and I was at like 150 feet. And I think I've talked about this before. In the video, you can see how stiff my legs get, and like everything just changed for me. I went straight to panic mode. I had 45, 50 seconds before I ever had to worry about finding a place to land, which, by the way, was over the compound. So I had all day, every day to freaking find a spot to land. But it amazed me how quickly I went straight to panic mode. I've run out of gas. I didn't panic on that, but I did run out of gas. So that was I guess you consider, I mean, would you consider another engine out?
Sure.
Yeah.
When at Hodges Field, I went to the mile marker, and on the way back, when I got there, I shut the motor off and lifted my earmuffs and enjoyed the situation. And my motor never restarted, so I came in no, actually, was that Swanee? That was Swanee. It was Swanee. I went to the Mile High, and I came in from a mile with no power and landed. I knew I was going to take out a camper that day. There was the Dave Purdens. I landed in somebody's backyard with a whole family. They were having a party or something. The guy, first thing he did is came up, handed me a Corona.
Right. Yeah, I just dropped in for a Corona.
But God, there was two or three more that I was thinking of when you guys were talking. I was like, holy crap, that's right.
Yeah,
Holy
you know
crap.
what? You just saying that, I just realized I had more than that, because I remember
Yeah.
once I had a motor out. And I just got off I was flying and talking to Kate Bowen. I just got off the phone with her, and I had a motor out, and I landed in a cornfield.
Oh, here you go. Here's the greatest question of this show ever. We are getting so comfortable with engine outs and landing out that we forget that we had them.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Right? Like the more I'm thinking about this, I'm like, holy crap, these should be like monumental things that have happened, and I'm forgetting about Sunnyland. I literally just crossed over. I was doing I was trying to get my wingtip as close as I could to a hay bale in this field, turned and climbed over power lines, had a motor out, and that's when the carburetor was actually dumping so much fuel through the carb that it was coming out the exhaust. And that's when Brian Haybell Waller fixed my carburetor. We did a rebuild at Sunnyland, and I had 2 engine outs the next day because it was running too lean. So as soon as I let off the throttle, it would die. And the first time it died, I was too low. The second time, I was high enough, but I couldn't get it to restart. So when I came back, we readjusted it. So the more I think about it, I'm like, is every other flight an engine out? Because at this point, I'm like, holy crap. The more I think about it, the more I'm realizing that it's a common thing in this sport.
I have 149 flights, and I've only had one, and it was self-induced, stowing my brake handle and hit the kill switch.
Oh, how high were you?
About 100 feet or so. I had just taken off out of my old house, and I was like Shane. I was instant panic mode, and then I was able to land in my front yard, no problem.
Did you attempt to restart it or no?
No, as soon as it died, I went ahead and stowed the brakes to try and restart it. And I thought, crap, I'm so low, I better just start working on landing.
Yeah.
So I just got the brake back down and set up to land.
That's the tough part, because I've had motor outs when I was doing some acro where it stalled out, but then I was able to get it restarted. But then it's like 3 times, 4 times. I'm like, okay, one more time, and that's it. And then I'm giving up, and I'm landing it. So That gets nervous when you start getting lower and lower. Like, okay, I gotta start focusing on where I'm going.
So if you
Yeah,
guys, those in the chat, if you ever seen the video of me going a mile high, on the way down, I had the camera mounted on my wing, and I looked like I was doing a Jane Fonda workout because I was the whole damn time. And then you see me, I put it away because I'm like, it just started going again. I just knew because at Swanee they make it a huge deal not to cross the runway. So the way the wind was blowing was from the runway to the campers, and I was like, "There's no way I can cut it short from not go over the runway and then come across, not come across it and land before the campers." And I was like, dude, my motor's out. I got no choice. If I come up long, I'm smacking a camper. If I come up short, I'm landing on the runway. Like I was just like, all right, I don't care what happens. I kept looking back and forth up and down the runway to make sure no planes were coming. But I was out of it. Wouldn't start. The fuel got sucked out or whatever the reason, it didn't want to restart, and I could not reach the primer bulb. So from I think I started trying to start it at 2,000 feet. It never started, but I looked like Jane Fonda workout tape. I was just doing crunches the entire time. Oh, man.
Next time we go down to Hodges, I want to kill it and start it back up because I've still never started it in the air.
That's a good thing to practice. Now, the only difference is you should be able to, if you kill it and then restart it, you should be able to get it started right away. But if it goes out on its own, it's usually because something's wrong. It's starving for fuel. So you may have to, in the case of stalling it out, you may have to give it a bunch of pumps before you get it going. But it's definitely a good thing to practice. Yeah. Mark, I'm surprised you only have 149 flights. I would think you would be way above that.
Mm-mm.
As much as you fly.
That's it.
I know. And as much as this guy will land out and help somebody fish out a fish out of his wing and launch off a creek bed.
Well, that's because I thought we were going to eat that fish.
Actually, I think it was because
I didn't think about that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think about that. When we were at, where was that, in North Carolina? Easy Pace. When I was coming in, I was a little too aggressive, a little too close to the ground. And my motor died. And I always thought I would have trouble starting the Boaster, but in the air. But started right back up. But my second motor out, I was probably 50 feet off the ground, coming in to do some foot dragging. And my motor just died. So it wasn't because of any kind. I wasn't being aggressive. I wasn't doing any acro, no wing overs, no spirals, just straight in. And the first thing I did was to try to crank that thing back up. And looking back at it, which I couldn't do. Looking back at it, the very first thing I should have done was to set myself up for landing. Will looks like his hostage. Tony, tell you what, man.
Oh, I read that.
The stickers that I said I sent you, I didn't.
Return to sender. So Mr. Wolf, what have you been up to?
Oh my gosh. In life or with flying or what?
I mean, that beard. I've got so many questions about the shirt. I just
took up my work shirt. I don't know. I've been working out.
That shirt is. Oh my god!
There we go. We're getting them. Trying to look more like Will.
Do we need to start a GoFundMe? Somebody send him a Paralife t-shirt.
No, this is because it gets cold up there.
Oh,
So
I tried growing one of those.
I'll tell you, when I'm flying up there, I'm totally warm up there with my face with this little bag 5 minutes ago. But other than that, I'm not gonna lie, I don't miss doing our Paramotor Nation. Not for a second.
No.
Can you believe it's been a year? It's been a year already.
Okay.
But I don't miss it.
I have.
Hey,
What?
We miss
Okay.
you though.
Oh,
Yeah, no, seriously,
Go
I
watch
enjoyed.
reruns.
I do enjoyed watching the show, but what you guys are doing or did with getting information, the pilots, all that, that's a lot of damn work. We literally
much work.
show up 5 minutes before, and I'm griping about Sunday or Monday going through Facebook, putting in the link in. I'm like, this is so much work.
Mhm.
And then I think about what you guys have done, and I'm like, I want no part of that. None. And
I get
I'm
it.
fine. I'm fine with just like I said, hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to come on, great. It's perfect. I've asked other people if they want to come on. They're like, no, not really. I'm like, all right, cool. Like,
Yeah.
no big deal. We're just here just shooting a BS and just hanging out. That's
Yeah.
hey, Dave. Mike Thompson, PPG asked, "How do you like the drift air?"
Oh my God, I love the drift air. It is so fast and so much fun and so responsive. I still have the spider, but barely use it. I used the spider when I was practicing. I just started practicing doing a banner tow with my it's a 6 foot tall by 10 foot American flag. So just because I feel like it's a little more control. But then I did it again with the drifting. It was just fine. But I love it. It's a great glider. I think it's an 18 meter. Yeah, 18 meter. Super fast. And when you kick speed bar, man, you just take off.
so.
Just
Dave,
like
I
super
want
fast.
I want to ask you, Dave, how honored. Tell me your feelings about bringing that flag to the opening ceremonies that you posted on the flag that you for the football game.
So I didn't do the flag for the football game.
What was it for?
So I did the flag just flying. That was when I posted the video. It was just me practicing with it. But on Veterans Day, we just had,
Yeah.
I took it up in the air. It was a pretty windy day, so I was not only was my glider
Oh, it
jacking
was
me
a
around, but
football. It was the football.
it was the
I'm
football.
sorry, I got the two
No,
mixed up.
but the athletic director and myself have already talked. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff throughout the year. We're going to be doing a banner tow and landing in the field with the flag, and doing some smoke. There's a lot of stuff that they do at the field. So I love it. It's fun as hell, and they appreciate it. They enjoy it. So it's great.
Well, I would first like to say my apologies. I got the football and the
That's
flag
okay.
mixed up.
That's okay.
But I thought that was super freaking awesome that you got to do that with the football, and I was like, dude, how that would be freaking. Now, did you get the chance to take off, or you just packed your stuff up and left?
No, I packed it. So first of all, that was a dream of mine since before I started getting my own paramotor. When I saw Kyle O'Glee do it in his video,
Okay.
and I'm like, oh my God, one day if I have the chance to do this, I'm going to do this. And so I took off from a field, another school that was about a mile down the road. So the whole flight was less than 4 minutes, 5 minutes tops. And oh my God, it was just so fun. And I did a practice run with it. Roxy, come here. Sorry. I did a practice run about a week before where I took off from the baseball field next to the field. And when I came in, I landed. I overshot my landing by about 80 yards because I had a tailwind. And just so happened for this one, it was just absolutely perfect. I came in exactly where I wanted to be. And I ended up finishing, turning around and laying the glider down, standing on the 50-yard line right in the middle of the field. So it was exactly as perfect as I could have planned it. It was awesome. Loved it. So, yeah, if you get a chance to do it, and I went through everything with the FAA, making sure that everything was clear and everything. It's funny. I'll tell you a funny story. So after I packed everything up, and I'm walking I was starting to walk out of the stadium, and I had the paramotor on my back. One of the cops said, "Hey, I need to talk to you." I said, "What's up?" He said, "Someone called and complained about you flying over the highway." And I said, "I didn't fly over the highway. In fact, you can look. I'll show you my GPS right now, my tracker." And I showed him. I never flew over a house. I never flew over the highway. He goes, "Well, someone complained and said one of your wheels fell off and hit their car." And I said, "Do you see any wheels on me? I'm standing here."
That's because they
What are
fell
your
off.
wheels?
He goes, "Nope, you've got no wheels." I said, "Okay, we're all good."
Oh man,
He goes,
that's
that,
pretty hilarious.
and he said it perfect. He goes, "That's a perfect case of someone always complaining about something fun." I said,
Yep.
"Exactly."
Well, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
some people
Dave.
just like to complain.
Exactly right. I did the banner tow on Veterans Day, and I just flew up and down the highway just so people could feel a sense of patriotism. So that was nice. But it was windy, and like I said, the glider's bumping around up there, and then the flag is, bumping me on my feet all around. So it wasn't so comfortable. So
So let's say worst case scenario, something happens, you can dump that flag, right?
yeah, I actually had a cotter pin. The way I had my fanny pack, if you will, that I same when I did the football in,
Mm-hmm.
and I had another belt around me as well. So I had it kind of looped up underneath and then clipped with a cotter pin. So all I had to do was pull the pin and the thing drops. And even after I pulled the pin, I was able to still kind of hold it with my feet so that I could drop it exactly where I wanted to. But I think
Okay.
next year when I land inside the stadium, I'm probably going to land with the glider and have with the flag and have someone pick it up as soon as I land.
Very nice. Well, listen. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, and you
And
know what? Look, we fly so much, all of us, and I think sometimes it gets mundane, and we need to challenge ourselves with things like that. And the flag, especially, I thought was going to be a little bit more dangerous than it actually was. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, is it going to give me so much drag that I'm going to be facing downwards and
right.
like I'm doing a face plant after tripping over my lines while trying to take off, or
Woo!
or
Shots
ooh.
fired.
But it wasn't. It wasn't even with this 10-foot flag and a 5-pound weight holding it down. It was totally fine. At some points, it didn't even feel like it was even there.
Huh.
So try it. Try it.
Yeah, I am working up to things like that. I think
Yeah.
that's totally awesome. I
Well, tell you what.
absolutely love the video.
Well, next time we're at a fly-in, I mean, you
Yeah.
were going to do the speed bar the last time we were at a fly-in together.
Still haven't hooked that up.
But if you'd like, I'll bring the flag and show you how I do it. And then I'll set it up for you, and you can try it.
I think the way the speed bar thing went was, hey, Will, you have this many subscribers. I'll do you. Shane, how many you got? No, I'm out. And then I just still.
Oh.
That's really not how it happened, but I'm just gonna say that's how it happened.
No, I asked you both, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna pass, Dave."
Yeah. No,
Krista said I wasn't allowed to yet.
No, actually, with the drive and everything that was going on, I just wasn't in the mood to do it. And if just like Saturday morning when I face planted, I really truly didn't want to fly, but it was the only chance we were getting to fly that morning. Yeah. Not to say that was an excuse, but over 400 flights that I've had, that's the first time I've had something like that happen. I think that's pretty damn good and funny.
Hey, Shane, it brought a lot of joy.
Yes, it did.
You just need to know that.
Well, I'll tell you something, Will. There was one time I was at some fly-in and I saw a guy trying to take off and he almost landed in the back of someone's cargo trailer. That brought joy to my life. And I can't remember who the pilot was.
I don't think that guy had a video of that. But if they did, they would have seen this guy, the same face that. When this pilot stopped, he could tell the lady in the camper was cooking eggs. And
is that why you went there?
the wing kind of covered the back of the cargo trailer.
I remember about to launch and go, oh, he looks like he may have gotten hurt. I'm gonna launch anyways.
Yeah. No. Went to my knee. I killed the motor, went to my knees, and just watched that wing just cover the back of the cargo trailer or the camper. It was an actual camper. It was a toy hauler, and they had the back open. If I would have kept running, I'd have just flown right into the back of that thing. Just literally just.
That was great. The poker run.
Yeah, are we ever going to do another poker run or what? Because that was a blast.
That was Ricky's.
I know, but I mean,
I don't know. That was fun. But I think, you know what? I'm gonna talk to him about it because I think this would be a good time with everything. I'll tell you this. It just so happens to be it was today. I called Todd Scandred up. I haven't talked to him since the tragedy of his wife.
Yes.
And when I called him, I said, this may be the first time in my life that I'm actually speechless. I don't even know what to say to you right now, which is why I haven't called sooner. And my heart just goes out to him and his whole family. And Todd's not in the place where he's ready to do anything yet, and I can't blame him because I would be completely lost right now. So I'm just praying for him. But maybe it'd be a good time for us to support the organization and do something like that. I don't know, but that's all Ricky's doing, and I'm sure it's a lot of work too.
Well, I would be more than happy. If he's interested in doing it, I will help out any way I can.
Yeah.
100%. So
There might be a reason he can't. I don't know, like something with Wachula.
right. Yep. I don't know.
That was fun.
Well, you talk to him. You sweet talk him. I mean,
I'll try.
he's played with your coconuts, and you've played with his gorilla ball. So see,
Good.
see, you can make fun of my face plant,
You
but
know what? It goes to show everybody out there watching in YouTube land. You come on the show, you're open game. There's no protection behind a chat any longer.
Oh, gorilla nuts. Man, your son was there, right? When you were under the gorilla?
No, that was a guy I don't talk to anymore.
Okay. All right. Long story short. Anyways, I just remember that video you holding like this.
Yeah, it's funny because in the moment I didn't even know what I looked like. I really didn't.
Oh,
All I know is I was trying with every ounce of muscle trying to get that thing up in the air, get the gorilla up in the air.
I can tell you right now, I knew from the minute my face hit the ground exactly what I look like. All right, guys, we are out of here. Dave, you want to share your YouTube channel or whatever?
Nah, it's not worth it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's Paralife PPG. Come check it out. Like and subscribe.
All right, Dave, thank you very much for coming on tonight. Greatly appreciate it.
Me,
It
Yeah,
was
man.
awesome.
Good seeing you, Dave.
See you guys.
We will see you. Real quick, Dave, any fly-ins you're going to be attending this year coming up that you're other than Bad Apples?
Mark's
and
side.
Dave Purds?
I don't. Dave Purden's probably for sure. I'm not sure about Bad Apples this year. I'm not doing as much. I'm not doing any of the planning this year. My son's graduating high school like the weekend before, so I'm not sure if I'm going to make it or not.
Okay.
And nothing really planned. It's going to be we do. My daughters both play lacrosse and they're both on travel teams, so that takes a ton of time and a ton of money. Doing that's a lot of sacrifice. So there's that. My son's starting college, so it's gonna be a very busy year. But I know, as I mentioned this in the chat, Mark, I know me and Tim Gaskins are gonna try to get together, and whoever else wants to join. Of course, I don't know where we're gonna be, but it'll be the end of February. We're gonna try to get out and do something.
Well, hit us up, dude.
Yeah, man.
You clearly have my messenger, so let me know. I can always reenact some stuff. All right, Will, where can we find you, sir, on social media?
You can find me on YouTube, Will Fly, or online at willflyppg.com.
Mr. Mark McElroy, where can we find you, sir?
I'm like Dave Wolf. You can find me at Paralife PPG.
And you can find me here, another Texas Skinny Chef Shane, or on TikTok at ppgshane.com. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. Good night.
I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time, got no filter.